Okay, today is Sunday, April 2nd, about almost 9 p.m. California time. We're going to talk about Dash, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Monero. Just kind of keep the theme that I've been dealing with the last couple of weeks going. So, some updates. We shared this Dash chart a couple days ago. And in this Dash chart, I was pointing out several bearish indicators, a TK cross here, the price entering the top of the cloud here, the price breaking below cloud, and a Kumo twist. And then another thing, this chart that was created 2 days ago, there was support level, support based on this area being resistance before a breakout, and now it coming back down and this being support. So this chart was created 2 days ago when Dash was at .061 and I identified this as support. So I'm going to play this forward. And you're going to see that what happened is this did hold support for a few days. It went sideways action. So the way that I played this is I put in a short to trigger at .06. The support was just above that. So as soon as .06 happened, I got the short, and then Dash really broke down. Once it got out of the support level, it actually flash crashed all the way down to .035. So unfortunately, I did not put in order to close my short. So I was at the grocery store and I saw this price and I was really excited. I couldn't wait to get home and enjoy those profits. But by the time I got home to manually close it, the price had already come back up to about here. So I made a profit, but I didn't make anywhere near what I could have if I had put in that stop. But nonetheless, that's what happened with Dash. That's the update. Going forward, I think it may reconsolidate. Bitcoin's being very volatile right now, so that it has an impact on Dash and Ethereum and Monero. Dash, with this rapid run up, doesn't really have a lot of support areas. And I think that Dash has more downside longer term. I just don't know if that's going to happen in the next 24 hours. So let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been really, really volatile basically the last 24 hours. It got sideways for a while. And then I'm on the wrong time frame. Let me change this to 4 hour. Okay, good. It got really volatile for a while. I did a video when Bitcoin printed these candles right here. These are spinning top candles where there's a high wick and a low wick and a very small body. And it actually printed 5 in a row. Those are indecisive. Means the price hit a high and a low, but at the end it closed kind of where it started, right in the middle. And that's just a price discovery type of candle. The direction isn't really determined, and it's kind of unusual to see 5 in a row like that. Then we had a little bit of down, but then this candle, we solidly entered into the cloud, which is bullish. Then also we had a TK cross. So we had 2 bullish signals. And generally what you would do is you could safely put your order at the top of the cloud. So it'd be bullish, put an order, buy here, put a sell order up here at the top. And had you done that, you could have had this run. I did not do that, unfortunately. I'm just sharing best practices. This rally with Bitcoin is, there's just something about it. I mean, I can look at the technical and I don't know where it's going to go from here. I think that we're going to go sideways again, do a little bit of discovery, but we're going to run to the edge of this cloud again. If we get above the cloud and stay above the cloud, this will turn green, and then we'll have a confirmed bull trend. I'm just not convinced of it at this moment. Call it a hunch, call it whatever you want. One other thing I'm going to turn on here, and this is not lined up. There we go, good. I know this is really colorful, but I got a couple of overlays going on. Turn that off. So this is just a pitchfork to give you an idea. It's not necessarily validated yet, but this is the midline, and we're just kind of following the trend of this midline. So we're kind of coming up to here, and we'll see if this validates. If it reverses here, that's valid. I don't think it'll go up to here, but I would say that it's probably going to reverse and maybe find some discovery for the next day or two, and then we'll really know what the next direction is. And also, just to zoom out, this trend line, this blue trend line that's running through the pitchfork, this goes way back. So we've been above and below this trend line a bunch of times. So here's your blue trend line, really rapid spike, but we've kind of followed underneath this trend line for a while. We had our big spike. We had the ETF, and now we're back on trend. So we're going to find out where Bitcoin's going to go near term very soon. We're not going to wait very long. So let's talk about Ethereum. With Bitcoin being up, that generally means Ethereum's going to go down. They're just correlated that way, or they have been up until now. And we're seeing that that hasn't really broken quite yet. So Ethereum, if you zoom out a little bit, you know, it had this giant run. I did a couple videos about, you know, anytime a commodity, stock, cryptocurrency goes vertical like this, it'll crash. So it looks like Ethereum may have topped out, and now it may be beginning a little bit of a crash. You can see on the zoomed out chart that there's some support resistance at this level. Let's zoom back in. So we had a TK cross. We came down out of the cloud, and now we're resting here. I don't have anything else drawn on this chart. Ethereum may break free of the pairing with Bitcoin. It just hasn't done it quite yet. So what do I think is going to happen with Ethereum? Right now, I think it's going to go sideways. If it does break below, I would say much further, there could be some considerable downside. It just hasn't established itself, its use case. It's got a lot of promise, but its practicality and its application just isn't there yet. Really quick example. Somebody wrote a very long, very good paper about why Ethereum was better than Bitcoin. And it was convincing. I mean, I read it and I thought, well, that guy makes a lot of really good points. And then at the very end of the paper, he asked for tips in Bitcoin. So you just got to get the irony of somebody writing a paper about the superiority of Ethereum over Bitcoin. And then at the end of the paper, he asked to be tipped in Bitcoin. That's just what's going on with Ethereum now. It's got promise, it's got sizzle, but no steak. That's my opinion on Ethereum, and we'll see how that plays out in the price. So with Monero is actually pretty interesting right now. So we've just got an Ichimoku cloud. Monero had a nice run. You know, it was kind of stagnant down here. If you would have bought at .09, you'd be really, really happy regardless. It got up and kind of double topped. You may notice that Dash and Ethereum have the same kind of a double top. They're all coming back into the cloud. But what's going on with Monero, which is interesting, is it's bounced off the bottom of the cloud a couple of times. It's really become very strong support from Monero, and that's at basically .017 Bitcoin. If I turn on the Fibonacci, well, look at that. The Fibonacci lines up exactly with the bottom of this cloud. So Monero's has a support, the bottom of the cloud, and with the Fibonacci that actually gives it quite a bit of support. Whatever it does here is going to be important. If it can bounce off of that and get back up, then, you know, Monero's making a statement. If it falls through here and goes down to the next Fibonacci, well, then we know what's going on. But right now it's resting on very strong support. Another thing that you can see is the cloud is starting to twist. So it got into the cloud, came down, touched, it kind of bounced around. Now it's back on its support level and the cloud's narrowing. So even the cloud right now is waiting to see what happens. Whichever way this twists is going to be the future of Monero. It's either going to go up or down. So if you hold Monero, you want to look at, do you want to hold this long term, or is a breakdown at this price going to hurt you? And then act accordingly. If it does break down from here, if you look back, there's not a whole lot of support. It could quickly go down to .015 or lower. Okay, so if you guys have any comments, please leave them in the comments. I always like to get comments. Try to answer any questions the best I can. I'm just sharing what I see in the market. Hopefully it helps you. And if you've got anything to share with me that I'm not seeing, please let me know. Okay, guys, until the next time.